Kimbo fucking Slice.
Didn't he die?
Yeah, he died. Probably too many street blows to the head, like, if we're being honest. like the whole time we're watching that in, like, 2004, it's like, yeah, you shouldn't be doing this, and it turns out you should not be doing this.
I like how you call them street blows to the head.
What's good, man? It's your boy, Juicy J, man. Shout out to Virtual Homework Podcast.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Virtual Homework Podcast featuring Dana and Sam. This week on the Virtual Homework Podcast, we played a video game, Bowser's 3D World, featuring Mario's Fury and some other not the title of the game. How you doing? What is this podcast? Are you going to say words or are you just going to laugh in the corner? Like an insane person.
This is our second opening, by the way. The first one was just as good, but...
It was just as good, but like I messed up a little too much. I felt a little bit too much shame. Welcome to the Virtual Homework Podcast.
Welcome. We play video games here.
Yeah, we play video games here. Before we get into the video game conversation, let's talk about what we were talking about in our original intro here. We have a little bit of a PSA here. To all of you haters out there, to all of you Twitter users from your mom's basement typing inflammatory things, to all you comedy writers on The Simpsons, on The Daily Show, on The Colbert Show, on whatever shows
doesn't matter
feature comedy bits, fuck you. Arby's
rules. Hashtag Arby's is the best. I would fuck an Arby's sandwich.
Don't do that. Wasn't there like a video a couple years ago of a person fucking a McChicken?
Probably. I mean, did
you not see that? That was trending. That was
trending where? On Pornhub?
On Twitter. It got DMCA'd by McDonald's or something.
There's someone
there was,
fucking
literal
raw dogging a fucking McChicken on Twitter.
There was penis and a McChicken. And there was white substances, but it was actually mayo this time. Anyway,
either way, I saw
the least appealing image of all time.
I saw someone post on Twitter that Arby's roast beef looks like cat intestines, and they're not wrong, but it's delicious, so fuck them.
Yeah, so the thing is, I understand that Arby's is a relatively easy target, especially for like comedy. Like it's just like easy to look at an Arby's sandwich, especially the one that actually caused the most recent trend of Arby's hate, the Meat Mountain, which looks absolutely disgusting, but probably tastes delicious.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's easy to just look at something and be like, that looks disgusting, I wouldn't eat that. Here's my funny tweet about it. But potato cakes, man. Dude, Arby's sauce, horsey sauce.
They have some of the best PR too. Like they always have like the cardboard cutouts of like super cool shit. Everyone just like hates them. I feel like no one's ever actually had Arby's, which upsets me.
The thing is, I definitely think that Arby's is not hated, but there's a very silent majority here that eats at Arby's. Because the thing is, I see more and more Arby's every year. It's like Arby's is somehow doing well. I also like, if we're talking about positive PR, there's that like one video of like the weird worker at Arby's from like 10 years ago who like goes into like a poem about some old lady like hitting the Arby's. Have you ever seen that video?
No.
Okay, well, that's a topic for another time. We're getting way off topic.
There's a video of this dude. He bought a TV off of Craigslist and he like turned it on, and it was like the like display from an Arby's that had like the scrolling menu and shit.
Oh Jesus! I thought you were gonna go like it was incredibly greasy from like roast beef juice.
No, but then Arby's was like, hey, can we get that back? And they're like, no. There's like a whole thing.
Speaking of roast beef juice, we played video games this week. What did we play this week?
We kind of played a game it's been around town, you know. It's something that people played once before, but this time it has a little bit of a twist. We played Super Mario 3D World, except this time it's featuring the new smash out hit, Bowser's Fury.
Yeah, so we are completely selling out here. We are deciding that every so often when there's a new popular game that comes out, we're going to play that instead because we only follow clout.
Well, I mean, not only that, it's like it feels good to play a game when it's coming out because like I can talk to other people about it. We can talk to each other about it. It's like kind of when we play shit and it's like way past the line. It's like, whatever, you know? It's like
we missed the McKids train like a long time ago. That was like 1995.
I want to be excited for games coming out and shit, you know? So like I'm very happy we played this. At the end of the day, it's a Mario game. That's the thing. It's a masterpiece. Like it's a fantastic experience. Like there's really nothing really bad to say about it. It's a Mario game though. It's everything you expect from a Mario's game. Do you want to start talking about 3D World, or you want to go right into Bowser's Fury? So I feel like most people.
I think we should talk about 3D. First of all, before we get into it, how much did you play of both of these games?
So
how far did you get?
I 100%ed the first 5 worlds of 3D World, and then I switched to Bowser's Fury, and I got about 40 of the things.
Okay, so I'm a bit of an overachiever. I've beaten every single level in 3D World.
Nice.
I have not 100%ed it because the requirements to 100% it basically makes you beat the game 5 times, which is super annoying. And then I also 100%ed Bowser's Fury. So I have exhausted these 2 video games, at least 98% there.
Can I ask you, which one did you like better?
So we'll get into that in a bit once we have both these games kind of discussed.
All right.
I think we should talk about 3D World first, because that's the one that's kind of like familiar. People already know about it, and we could get through that, I think, a little bit quicker before we get into Bowser's Fury here. So beating this game, and I also had this on the Wii U, and I didn't get as far on the Wii U. I think I beat the Bowser, but the thing about this game and a lot of Mario games recently is that like beating Bowser is like 30% through the game. There's a whole other part of this video game. It's just like Odyssey. Yeah, and I got through all of that. I was very, very happy with this game. I know a lot of people are like, this game shouldn't be $60 because it was already on the Wii U, but like first of all, there was a very, very small install base on the Wii U.
First off, like this is a masterclass in 2D platform. This should be $60.
3D.
It's like 3D 2.5. It's like it's isometric.
It's isometric again.
Yeah, which I have my own issues with. I actually do have some qualms with the isometric in this, but that's a later topic. It's like the same people that don't like Pokemon. It's too easy. It's like, well, but it's so much fun. Like every second of this game, I'm having fun. It's not like the most difficult, like skill intensive thing in the world, but it's like it's relaxing to just sit back and have fun every once in a while. You know, I don't have to like have a 10,000% focus to have like, you know, laser precision to do this thing, and I can just relax and play some fucking Mario.
First of all, I will say that like towards the end of this game, you definitely need to focus. Like this game is a relaxing game. In fact, there's a lot of different like moods that are in these levels, and I find the tranquil ones, like the ones where like it doesn't really feel like there's a lot at stake, to be like the parts of the game I enjoy the most. The harder levels, like especially the ones towards the end, I find more frustrating than fun. But I will say that like, yes, this is basically the same game that is on the Wii U, but first of all, I feel like the Switch Premium, the ability to just play these games in bed when they're like basically console titles, is like worth it, like worth at least like a $10 price bump, because that's how I've been playing these games. I've just been playing them in bed, having a very fun time. I think that one of the reasons why I wasn't so keen on 100%ing this game when I owned it on the Wii U is because, one, like the Wii U controller sucks and feels like a piece of plastic crap compared to this. Then you have to like sit up
straight, you have to go somewhere, turn on the TV, do this thing. Like I'm literally laying in bed, like in my pajamas, like my cat's on my fucking lap, you know, sipping like a nice drink and just playing this shit comfortable as fuck. Like I am like in my zone, just having a wonderful time.
Yeah, and I was going to say the second thing is that like I don't want to have to just like sit on the couch whenever I play this game. I will say it is so funny watching like all the apologists come out of the woodwork. Not apologists, I don't know the right word, but I remember I was always a massive fan of this game. I was like, oh, this game's actually really good. I feel like people are really underselling it. And like everyone's like, no, it sucks. The Wii U sucks. And I'm like, okay, I'm having fun. And then like now that Odyssey's come out and now that this game's on the Switch, it's like, actually, this is one of the better games in the Mario franchise. I'm like, fuck you.
It does all the mechanics
you. 5
correctly.
Years ago, you basically said this game sucked.
It was just because of the Wii U. The Wii U was one of the worst marketed systems of all time. But regardless of that, like I said, this is a masterclass in Mario. It has all the mechanics, all the movement, all the different moves of anything you would expect from a modern Mario, just executed in such a fantastic way that you really can't put it in words. As far as like the different levels, every single level has a different theme. You might see some reoccurring themes, even from some previous and future games like Odyssey. It's basically taking the best parts of level design and gameplay from all those games and kind of like putting them in this experience.
Yeah, the game is like legitimately nearly too perfect to have like a non-boring conversation about it. It's like, yep, this level design's perfect, yep, etc., etc. That's kind of a given though when it comes to a first-party Nintendo Mario title. Like I can't think. I guess Sunshine was controversial to people, but I love Sunshine as a kid.
I love Sunshine too. Yeah.
Yeah, introducing characters like Plessy, who's the greatest of all time. I do think that it'd be more interesting to talk about, I guess, the qualms I have with this game and the qualms you have with this game. I will say, like, as a power up, Cat Mario doesn't really do it for me.
I'm Cat Mario 24/7. It's
Cat Mario 24/7. He's dressed up like a cat right now. Are you going to Midwest Fur Fest?
No, I'm not a piece of shit. But
Jesus, Bowers is a furry, and that's fine.
No, I kid, kind of. No, I'm a huge fan of movement. Movement in game is what makes it fun for me. So just like the different, being able to climb walls, being able to dash across things, being able to attack enemies head on and stuff like that. Just everything that the Cat Mario does just makes the game a better experience to me. Maybe you feel differently because you're used to just like the vanilla Mario where you're used to that movement. I prefer like being able to like jump and dash and all that kind of stuff the cat does.
No, I'm not saying it's a bad power up, but I feel like Nintendo has this problem where, first of all, like they introduced the best thing way too early. The cape is such a powerful power up that like you can't get better than that. Yeah. And like they after that they have like various power ups that like are kind of they're powerful, but like I just think back, oh, this is not that good compared to a cape, and like I feel like all these weird iterations, like they had a flying squirrel suit. I'm just
just
make
use the cat.
The cat's okay, but I feel like they could have made some more creative ideas. I've never been a huge fan of the cat. It's kind of weird how like cat-based this and Bowser's Fury are, but whatever. They have a theme and they're going with it. I'm just not super into it.
I think mechanically it's the best power up, but that's just my thought. One of my actually greater qualms is actually has to do with the isometric view. I hate like the 2.5D isometric because like when you're trying to jump across something or on something very specific, I have poor, I guess, would it be depth perception? So it's like I'm trying to like jump at an angle isometrically, I'll like miss it or something like that. Versus like just straight 2D, I got all day. It just like when I'm on that like 3D isometric, like side-scrolling plane, I get fucked up.
And you told me when we were playing Hades that isometric was fine.
That's different though.
I don't know. I definitely see where people are coming from, but I generally didn't have that issue. I feel like I'm just a genius platformer, and I'm kind of the best Mario player alive, so I didn't have the issue. I will say, where I had issues, and this is kind of a different type of rant here, is that fuck the Nintendo Switch controller and Joy-Con drift. Like, it literally made it impossible. Like,
it's awful.
The thing is, first of all, you have a Switch Mini, so that really sucks for you,
dude,
where you can't replace your Joy-Cons.
It's straight up just... I move slightly and my character's like like it feels like I'm constantly gliding with everything I do. So that may have something to do with me and less about it being isometric and more about the controls.
My Joy-Con drift has gotten like worse and worse, but the issue is that like right now if you try to buy a first-party Switch controller, like first of all, getting one replacement is like $80 and it's like 100 something for a Switch controller. So like if it was the normal price for a Switch controller, I would definitely be able to fix that issue.
No, it's fantastic. Like as far as like feel and everything, it just that joystick just feels so weird. Just it moves. I think it's just a poorly designed joystick, to be honest.
I feel like you don't actually experience like the level of Joy-Con drift I do. If like you're talking about the controller just feeling weird, you would know Joy-Con drift.
Well, no.
You
so it's like when I'm moving my character, it's like I can't feel myself going in like a line. I feel like I'm moving at like an angle and stuff like that, or like my stick is just moving weirdly. It just doesn't feel right. I don't know. My
controller, if I'm literally just sitting there, it'll like all of a sudden I'll start dashing to the left.
Oh, that's
just
like
fun. After like 2 seconds. Yeah, it makes it near. I got so frustrated towards the end of this game when the levels get harder that I had to set it down for very long periods of time because I'm just like this is unfair bullshit. That's not even my fault. I will say, because of that, I did end up using the White Tanuki power-up a couple times, which basically makes levels like a freebie. Did you ever use that?
The only time I ever got it, if I was trying to get like a specific power up, like one, a specific star, like one that stuck out to me. There's like a level where there's piranha plants that come out of the wall and they're like sleeping, and you have to like jump up on them one by one. I kept fucking that up over and over and over and over, and then like I died so many times that eventually the White Tanuki came up. So it's just like
okay. I used it a decent amount actually, but that might just be because like the way I play these games is like a pure torture. First of all, my first playthrough I only use Mario because I'm a Mario fan, and I also will not move on to the next level unless I like 100% that level. So I have to beat the level and then like get all the 3 stars and the stamp before I move on. So at a certain point it becomes a little bit frustrating, but that's just like I'm so neurotic with video games where if I see like something that like I could make progress in, I can't go back to it. I have to do it right there.
Yeah.
It's honestly the reason why I don't complete a lot of games, because like if it's like a game like Skyrim or something,
you'll
where
get like
it's
70% of the way through it, like 100%, and then be like, I can't.
Yeah, exactly. Overall, I think this is a great game. I enjoyed the fact like this game doesn't have that many water levels. I noticed that was like kind of a weird choice, but like
I think
it worked out very much.
I don't think people like water levels. I think if I had like a girlfriend or significant other or something that wasn't like the biggest gamer ever, I could find myself having a lot of fun with this game as well. This is such a fantastic game. Play with like your kids, your friends, whatever.
Have you seen that Reddit post that's like like a couple minutes of my girlfriend falling off the map in 3D World?
Yeah, that's pretty funny. She's just like jumping off. That's like Gamer Girl.
I mean, there were a lot of like half water levels where you're in the water half the time and out of the water half the time.
Stuff a little bit,
but I'm really just trying to like avoid talking about this game anymore because there's much bigger fish to fry. So speaking of games that are half in the water, half out of the water. Bowser's Fury. First of all, I'm gonna say right now, like every other person on the internet, I completely wrote this off. I'm like, oh, I'm getting the 3D World remaster, and then I'm like, yeah, I guess there's a Bowser's Fury mode. I didn't even watch the trailer for the game. I'm like, yeah, this is just some weird ass thing. This is like literally better than like Odyssey gameplay. I completely.
This is like Game of the Year contender. That's how fucking awesome this was.
Someone else watched the donkey video, I guess. Whatever.
Why can't I have my own opinions as well as others? Like, fuck.
Because he called it Game of the Year, and he made the video like 2 days ago.
Well, fuck you.
So, well, fuck Donkey, because he stole your ideas.
Well, whatever. This is a fantastic game, and I like it a lot.
Yeah, like, first of all, I think that Nintendo just didn't advertise this well enough. Like, this is like, they're like, Bowser's Fury is the shit. You need to play. They should have just said that straight up. Outright,
they could have just made
Nintendo
this
Direct
3 times longer, and it would have been like.
They could have just made it 3 times longer, dude. But no, I think that, like, first of all, let's explain what Bowser's Fury is. Because I feel like we didn't really explain what 3D World is. That was just like a level by level.
3D World is fucking classic Mario. You just jump across levels.
It's a 7-year-old game. I feel like we don't have to explain. A 7-year-old Mario famous game. Bowser's Fury is in a similar style to Odyssey, where it's a open world 3D Mario. It's not isometric, and the camera isn't fixed, so you can move the camera free range like in Odyssey or Sunshine or games like that.
Yeah, any of like the 3D Marios.
It really is, I would say, like a true sequel to the 3D line. Like a lot of people, when they heard of 3D World, they didn't really want to even consider it in the same group of games as like Sunshine 64, Odyssey, Galaxy 1, and Galaxy 2, just due to the fact that like the level structure was extremely linear. This is open world. You basically go from place to place trying to collect cat shines, which are similar to moons.
Loading screens or anything at any point. It's not like there's a hub world. It's just one huge level, which is fucking
It is
awesome.
straight up open world. Like it is straight up open world. I will say that, like, I think that this is how the Mario games are going to go forward. You probably enjoy the cat suit a lot because this game is very cat focused. Yes. Bowser's Fury, like, literally the ground is cat fur. In fact, like, I would say, like, it's at a point where, like, the cat suit is almost like a crutch. Like, this game mode relies too much on the cat suit to get some of these shines. Yeah. There's 100 shines in total. I thought it was weird that they did just do 120. I understand that they'd have to increase the game.
Jesus fucking Christ! I got like 40, and I thought that was a shit ton.
Well, I mean that's half of them. That's not really that. It's still a shit ton, but I think that like could have been an homage. Could have made 120 like every other game, but whatever. That's a topic for another time, I guess. But the actual level design, going from level to level, you use Plessy, which is in 3D World, to travel across the ocean, kind of like Wind Waker with that one boat character.
It's like a boat.
Yeah, and you just go from island to island doing dope shit. Each one of these islands is like, they have, I think, 5 or 6 cat shines. Cat shines are very similar to stars in every other game. Yeah. Like Odyssey, where it doesn't lock you out when you get one. Like, you're not going to go back to the beginning of the world. It really is just like pure platforming genius from Nintendo.
Absolutely.
The what's it called? The twist is that every so often Bowser will come and knock
fuck
shit
up. Yeah, which actually makes some interesting gameplay because the world will change when he does come out. Like there would be certain platforms that become accessible. You'll be able to get to different areas. Like little blocks come out of the ground that let you get different power-ups and things like that. And also his mechanics where he like throws fire out and stuff you can use to break down walls that previously were not accessible to get cat shines or like different power-ups or stuff like that, which is really, really cool, culminating to where you actually fight him in that form once you get enough cat shines to, I guess, turn into Super Saiyan Cat Mario and fight
he's
him.
like literally Super Saiyan. Like it's straight up, you have Super Saiyan hair and everything. Like there are definitely some Goku fans.
Yeah, definitely
on the Mario team.
The goal of the game essentially is to collect cat shines to get the bell, which turns you into Super Saiyan Mario, where you fight Bowser essentially numerous times. Every time you collect enough shines to get the bell, the number you need increases. So you have to go like different areas, do different things to get more to continually fight him.
Yeah, I will say, like, I was actually pleasantly surprised by like the actual like fighting Bowser mode as Super Saiyan Mario.
It was cool, right?
Yeah, it was pretty cool, especially like, so you said you only got 40 cat shines, so you didn't actually get to the final fight, right?
No. I just got to like the lava zone, and then that was it.
Okay. The only thing I want to complain about is like there were some performance issues and like loading times in between like the normal mode and fighting Bowser as Super Saiyan Mario. The only reason I'm complaining about load times in the first place is due to the fact that like this game is so seamless in like the standard Mario platforming aspect, like to the point where it's like revolutionary. Like you're just going from place to place without any menu time. That like any sort of well,
it's like let's say you're in the ice world. You're like, oh, I'm at the ice level. I want to go to the fire level. You just fucking go.
Yeah, and the way you go, like Plessy, the dragon that takes you from place to place, it just shows up wherever. And like the little touches like that, like really, I look forward to those in like a more full-fledged game, because this game's only about 4 hours to beat entirely.
Short,
it's about 7 hours if you want 100% it. And I feel like the way they made this game, the way that it's so continuous, like I really wanted to beat this in one sitting. I literally couldn't because I just didn't have the time. But like I feel like there were a ton of people who did beat this in one sitting.
I'm with you though. Like I love the little touches. Like something that stuck out to me, and it's like so minor. It's unreal. Is I'm like climbing up this giant tower with a windmill on it, and then Bowser comes out and starts raining, and then there's like water textures suddenly on like the windmill, and it just like really accentuates and looks really cool and stuff like that. I don't know, just like the little fucking things that they didn't really have to think about, like to change textures and stuff like that at certain moments and stuff like that. I thought were really fucking cool.
What I think the coolest little changes, Mario has had this struggle, and it exists still in 3D World, because I don't know about you, but like I don't life farm. I would eventually game over and just be frustrating, because like it's not like you lose any progress. It's just literally a waste of time because like there's a game over screen.
There's no reason to have lives in any of these games, to be honest.
Yeah, and they don't have it. They stopped doing lives in Odyssey, and you just lost coins in Odyssey, which it did have some incentive because you could buy things with coins in like each world shop. But I think the way that they did coins in this game is literally the best they've implemented coins in any video game since like the original Mario. And
absolutely.
Every single time you get 100 coins, you get a random power-up in your power-up bank. You're able to store 5 of each power-up, like so 5 boomerang suits, 5 Tanuki suits, 5 cat suits, etc., etc. So like your incentive to get coins is that you get extra power-ups in your power-up bank.
Because it's like you'll be at a certain spot and you're like, oh, I want to use the boomerang because like it's good against these enemies. Let me switch to it. All right, let me immediately go to cat because I want to do movement to go really far or something like that. I never really used anything other than boomerang and cat, but
I would eventually just like start blitzkrieging everything and run out of stuff. So I was doing a lot of mushroom dude, and with my fucking Joy-Con drift, there were some areas in the game that you have not experienced that made me extremely frustrated and just like, oh my god. But that's really an issue with me rather than this game. I enjoyed this game so much. I really love 3D World, but I loved Bowser's Fury somehow a lot more, and the only regret really that I have is that this game is like 5 hours long.
Yeah, I haven't played Odyssey or anything like that yet, so it's like this is kind of like my first exposure to like a real, like actually modern Mario experience, and holy shit, I'm excited for whatever comes after this, if this is the way they're going. It was just so fun. Like you said, the seamless action between like different worlds, different levels. Obviously, like the different areas, they kind of like 3 of the shines in each given, like the whole goal is to complete a lighthouse or whatever. 3 goals in every single area are pretty much the same.
Yeah, it's like red coin shines in Sunshine and SM64,
and then like you have to break like something with Bowser's fire when he goes like sicko mode.
When he goes sicko mode, yeah. So I will say the most sicko mode he goes is when it literally. So I'm gonna. Do you mind if I spoil the last boss fight for you? Maybe a little bit, but I kind of want to do it.
Oh, you spoil it to all our viewers too.
Well, okay, this is like spoiler zone extraordinaire. I will say that much, but it's not really that much of a spoiler. Like Bowser goes full sicko mode, and I'm sorry that I'm telling you this, but he goes so sicko mode, it literally turns into the Sonic Adventure 1 final boss fight versus Chaos.
Oh god.
Do you remember when you're like surfing through the city in Sonic Adventure 1? That's like literally how the final, like I'm not even joking. That's like he goes straight up Sonic Adventure 1.
One thing I want to actually go back to saying, like when you do go giant Super Saiyan Cat Mario, it's cool cuz you're still in the world and it's like fully realize the world you're in, so you can like run through like all the giant platforms that you were like previously going up and stuff like that, and it's kind of cool to like to see.
Yeah. They don't like put you in a different zone. They just make your sprite like 400 times bigger. It's pretty fun. I was very pleasantly surprised. If you like this game a lot, I think you would probably enjoy Odyssey. We're not gonna play Odyssey on this podcast because I beat it too recently, and I don't know. I'm definitely not gonna play. I'm not. No one is going to make another person like. No, we're not gonna be like, oh, by the way, your next game is Breath of the Wild, 400-hour game, whatever. However long it takes.
Dude, I have so many people yelling.
I
have so many people yelling at me to play Breath of the Wild, and it's just like that is like so much investment. Like I have like work and a podcast and like
it's like getting a PhD in gaming.
Yeah, it's like
you need to invest like multiple years.
I need to like quit playing WoW to like play something like that.
Yeah, I am definitely going to go back and probably like over the course of my life try to 100% 3D World, but I definitely enjoyed the last week. I had a really fun time. Thank you, Nintendo, for sponsoring this podcast.
We've played nothing but fantastic fucking games this entire year. Like everything this year has been enjoyable.
The Ignition
so
Factor.
Far. Did we play that this year?
I think that was the first game this year.
I think that was December.
That might have been December.
Hey,
fuck. What was the first game this year? Oh, Wadham. We played Ignition Factor this year because our year-in review was Parappa.
You liked the Ignition Factor though, and you were pissed that I didn't like it. I gave it like a 4.
I didn't like Star Sect. Oh, the worst game we played this year was Orwell's Animal Farm. I think.
I didn't think that was
maybe the Ignition Factor. That was okay, but that was like straight up mediocre.
I enjoyed it. I had fun with it. Fuck. So we played pretty good games. We haven't played absolute dog shit this year, is what I'm saying.
With this game makes me want to play Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker.
Yeah, I've never played that.
Well, I mean, like you've played 3D World, and like the Captain Toad's levels are just
I've never
less
played
good
like
versions
that.
of those.
Well, maybe we can check that out sometime.
Yeah, I feel like that's a deeply underrated game as well. But definitely a game for another time. Speaking of Nintendo, Nintendo has announced some stuff.
Yeah, they had their
and the internet's not happy.
Recently.
Yeah, well, they had their first Direct in like 15 years. 15 months.
They are. Obviously, they announced the 2 new characters for Smash, which, if you know the late person, Attica, you know, he passed away, was a year or 2 ago. Those were 2 of his favorite characters ever. So people are saying it's like a silent like remembrance to like bring those characters in the game, which I think is kind of cool. I can't for the life of me remember what their fucking names are.
Are they from Danganronpa or something like that?
No. That's from
Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Yes. It's like
it's Mithra and Pyra from Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Yeah, it's like the hot anime chick. So it's kind of cool that they did that. Maybe it wasn't related to him, but like a lot of people associate those characters with him. So I think that's kind of a cool thing.
I don't know. I'm happy to find that out. I didn't follow Etika in life, and like I think it's sad that what happened, but I'm glad that at least something that he is associated with is in the game. However, like they are just anime sword characters. Like I feel like the last 10 characters in this game are animated. The reason I loved Smash Bros, I mean, and I'm not the perfect person because like I was one of those people who didn't like to say I played Smash Bros because even though I liked Smash Bros, they're like, oh, you play, what's your main? I'm like, I play this at parties, man. I'm not trying to like join your league.
I have friends that like hardcore like would go to like tournaments and stuff like that. They were all always fighting game people, so like when I would play them, I would just get like fucking destroyed. I'm like, hey, you guys want to play something else? Like, no, let's keep playing Smash for 4 hours. I'm just like,
yeah, but my thing about Smash Bros is that like I always like the goofier character. Like I play as like Rob. I like Kirby doing that down B, and like just like
I play like Mr.
these
Game
are just
and
like
Watch.
anime characters with swords. Like the last like 10 characters. Like just do something different.
So
like,
American audiences are pissed off about that, but people need to realize there's more than just American audiences. And my understanding is
there aren't.
Those characters are very popular, and I'm assuming Japanese audiences.
Well, I'm pretty sure that America is the only country that plays video games, so I'm allowed to be angry.
Angry.
I mean, like, there were a lot of things announced this Nintendo Direct. And the thing is, like, people were calling it a disappointing Direct, but I feel like Nintendo is just, like, wearing themselves a bit too thin not in terms of the content they're making. They're making a lot of stuff, but they're really appealing to a lot of different fan bases. So you have the Smash community, you have new Zelda news, but then you also have, like, Metroid stuff way in advance. You have a lot of stuff that's, like, really far in the works, and, like, these communities don't overlap to the point where like you have people disappointed because they only got like one small thing for their community, but like at the same time they are making stuff for like a lot of communities.
Yeah, they
unless
can't
you're
make
like an
everyone
F-Zero
happy.
fan.
Yeah,
unless you're like an F-Zero fan, then you're getting nothing. But yeah, so what else happened? So Splatoon 3 was announced. I don't give a shit. Do you give a shit?
No, but the problem with it just looks like the exact same game. People are going to play it, they're going to have fun, and then they're going to stop supporting it. So it's a Splatoon. People were saying they thought it was going to be a fucking battle royale, which I would not be surprised if they throw in a battle royale like last second to that.
I mean, like that's just like the nature of these games, though. If you don't, there aren't that many games. Like I guess like some PC games like CS:GO, where like there are constant updates where the game is relatively old, but like even that has had like 3 iterations, maybe over the course of like 20 years. So maybe that's not good to bring up. But the way that like all these shooters work, like you have like Call of Duty 85, like
you can only play it for so long, and then you gotta like move
then you
on.
gotta just put the next number next to it, and then people would buy it again. It's just like Overwatch 2, but we'll get to that.
There were
in
a couple
bit.
other cool things. Like I saw the Skyward Sword HD remake, which I've never played Skyward Sword. I know a lot of people don't like it. But I'd be interested to try that because I don't have an opinion about it other than like the memes and stuff like that.
Anything that removes motion controls will make me a happy camper, so I'm definitely going to try it. People are excited for it, but they're just complaining on the price tag because it's going to be $60 again. They're comparing it to this All-Stars collection, which had 3 games for $60, and this only has 1 for $60. And I could see where they're coming from. I think that video game value when you start making comparisons, a lot of things might seem really overpriced.
Nintendo doesn't really cheap out on their stuff. I think they're just basing it on like the effort they have to put
think the
into
word
stuff.
you're looking for is greedy.
Well, yeah,
but
Nintendo is Nintendo. You know, that's just how they've had very antiquated ways of dealing with everything forever. So that's just kind of what they do. It's whatever. You know, for $60, I'm sure it's going to be worth like the 50 hours you're going to spend playing it. So.
Every single person I know that's complaining about the price is still going to buy it. So what does that say about it? Says more about them than Nintendo, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Nintendo's not making a stupid business decision. I think that the new Joy-Cons look cool, and maybe if I can't find a fucking Joy-Con for the normal non-scalp price, maybe I'll get that one because they'll be out by the time this game. I actually don't know when this game is released. I know it's released this year.
I didn't look at really like frames for like almost any of this stuff.
Yeah, the funny thing is, like, I went into this being like, oh, all this stuff is going to come out soon, so I don't really care. It's just coming out soon. That's what I was in my head.
It says like 2024.
Yeah, like 2020. I heard like 2022 a lot. I think I heard like 2023 once, but like they literally said before this Direct that this is stuff coming in the next 6 months. Total lie. Whatever. If we're talking like All-Stars Trilogy, did you ever play the Ninja Gaiden games?
I did, actually. I'm a huge fan of them, so I'm actually really happy that they got announced for the Ninja Gaiden trilogy of the Xbox Series. Well, I guess not Xbox Series, whatever. The Xbox games.
Series X.
The Xbox games for Ninja Gaiden. These are fucking hard. It's basically like Bizarro, Devil May Cry games, but they're a lot of fun. I'm excited for it.
I was going to say Bizarro, like Dark Souls games, because everything's the Dark Souls of anything else.
Well, these came out before Dark Souls.
I thought the Ninja Gaiden guy went absolutely nuts.
What do you mean?
the guy who like made Ninja Gaiden like quit and sued the parent company, and like he had some weird breakdown. Whatever. That's a topic for another time. He made Devil's Third for the Wii U, which is a terrible game. I just want to say, like, do people not remember the last time they made a literal Ninja Gaiden trilogy?
Yeah.
It was bad. It was not good.
But I mean, it's on the Switch though, so it's like they can literally put like fucking Pornhub on the Switch and people would be happy, because it's like you said, how sick is it to just sit in bed and play like anything? So it's like they could literally put every game.
Only have YouTube right now on the Switch. If they added another multimedia platform, like I feel like people would be happy for a lot of reasons.
Like imagine putting Crunchyroll on there.
Yeah, that would.
They could
charge. Would be happy.
They could charge $5 an extra a month for it, and people would do it. Like it would be insane.
People would be pissed, but they would do it.
Oh, I would do it absolutely, because I would love to sit and fucking. Because I watch anime on my phone like all the fucking time. The screen's significantly bigger.
I mean, if we're talking about anime, like one of the games I've always been interested in, but I've never played. It's honestly on my list, but like way down the list. Like I really want to play Octopath Traveler for the Switch, and like they announced a game that looks very similar that I'm happy about.
Yeah, it's
but,
like
I don't really have
Triangle Strategy project or something like that.
Yeah, like they could have made a name at least for it. They're like we don't have a name for this. We're calling it the Triangle Strategy Product. We're gonna send you a feedback form. Please give us feedback on this video game.
It sounds like a horrible fucking translation or something. It's like isometric best friend fighting team or something like.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, like there are a bunch of things announced in this direct, but like. A lot of them like are just. I mean, we're kind of doing it right now. Where we have nothing to say. It's like, yeah, that's cool. I'll maybe check it out. When
there's
it's
some specific games that I wrote down that I thought were pretty cool. Like they had like a bunch of like random like mystery type games, like the Famicom Detective Club, which is like kind of like we like 999 and stuff like that, or like I really like the Phoenix Wright series. It looks kind of in that realm of like, soft horror, mystery, and stuff like that. And then there's also the World's End Club, which is if you're a Danganronpa fan, or like I said, 999. It's by the same people, where it's like, a game of, life or death, and then it changes into like a completely different game. So I'm excited. I mean, those are probably two of the games I'm most excited for.
I mean, like I wrote down 2 games myself. Specifically the new Mario Golf game.
Yeah, I'm hyped for that. Actually, I think that's something they need to bring back. That and Mario Strikers.
Mario Golf was one of those games where I would play on at my friend's house on their N64, but I never owned it, and like I'd never really played that much. So I will probably get it, and I look forward to just like being able to play it by myself and making my own opinions. So I'm excited for that. I like Wario's outfit too. Wario's looking spiffy in the Mario Golf, and the other like huge thing that like I feel like. Yeah, it's not like the biggest most revolutionary news in the world. Like, they're making a fucking physical copy of Hades.
Yeah, dude, I went out and pre-ordered it. First time I pre-ordered a game in fucking like 20 years. I went out to GameStop and I put down $20 on it. The game's only $35 and it comes with an art book. Like, that's sick as shit.
Yeah, it also comes with a digital download for the soundtrack.
Yeah, so which I know that you're a buff for that kind of stuff, so.
I'm a buff for that kind of stuff in general, but I wasn't super huge on the Hades soundtrack. I mean, I thought it was good, but it's not like something I would like jam to ever. But I mean, it's a cool feature. And soundtracks are worth money. Like if it's like a $10 soundtrack, that's $10 off the asking price, basically.
I feel like something that a lot of people overlook that I think is actually a really, really smart move is to bring Fall Guys to the Switch. I think they're going to have 1 million people play that, and I think that's the perfect fucking place to play that kind of game.
Are we still bean people video gaming? Like, do people still play Among Us? I know that, like, Among Us is, like, a meme still, but, like,
so, yeah, people play it. If you go to YouTube, like, the videos that are getting 10 to 20 million views, they're all Among Us videos.
It's just 12-year-olds. 12-year-olds make the world go round.
Yeah. It's all like little kids and stuff like that. Like most like anyone over the age of like 11 is past it, but kids are. You need to realize the people who are watching YouTube and Twitch and stuff like that are like majorly under 13.
Yeah, I will say just one last thing on the Hades point. I just thought it was so funny that like you were trying to get a physical copy of Hades when we were playing this game like 2 weeks ago. You're like, I went into GameStop and I asked them if they had it physical Hades, and they said no, that doesn't exist. And like literally as soon as you buy it on 2 platforms, PC and Switch, it's like I guess you're gonna have to buy it for a third time. You really, I mean, like honestly, that game is worth $60, and that's basically what you're paying for it. So
right, like so. I got like fucking $60 worth of play out of it. It's a fantastic game.
You are the biggest fanboy of what is it, Supergiant games of all time. You've only even played one of their games. Come on.
I
mean, if we're talking
Bastion.
about, we'll play Bastion eventually. I know we will. I don't know when we will, but I know we will at some point. If we're talking about like just like ports to the Switch though, like things coming to the Switch, like. Are you a Diablo fan at all? I know you are. I'm not even gonna like do that like loaded question.
Diablo 2, in my opinion, is the best game ever made in the history of gaming.
I think I told you the story where Diablo 2 is the first rated M video game I ever owned, and I never got to play it because someone gave it to me. Like, I was in, like, 3rd or 4th grade, and someone, like, gifted me, like, Diablo 2, and my parents, like, it's perfectly normal for your parent to be like, yeah, rated M game for, like, demonic, like, killing. Like, probably shouldn't let my 3rd grader play this, so,
I'm pretty sure I know my original CD key from, like, 2003 by, like, heart. It's, like, HG47. I don't remember, actually, but I used to.
You probably
know
also shouldn't say it in public. Someone's gonna steal your key.
I've taken that 100 times. Yeah, we're gonna, I guess, go into the BlizzCon news. BlizzCon Online. They announced a lot of really fucking cool shit and a lot of shit that no one really cares about.
Yeah, I feel like this, like, so I wouldn't say it's completely out of line from like previous BlizzCon announcements, but I would say it's one of the more weaker lineups.
Well,
like,
it's a lot we already knew.
It's stuff we already knew, and first, it's stuff we already knew because they announced it like a week ago. Like they announced like some like.
Well, this is all stuff that if you were in the Blizzard, was it Ecosphere or whatever? If you just played Blizzard games in general,
Infosphere,
like whatever, on a daily basis, you knew every single one of these things was coming. You knew that the new Diablo 4 stuff was coming. You know Diablo 2 Remastered was coming. You know that Overwatch 2 was coming. You knew that
at the same time, like I feel like a lot of the information from last time was found out because of leaks, but I wouldn't say that it was necessarily a bad presentation. But no, I get what you're trying to say, where it's basically like nothing was generally new that was announced. There were a couple things, but like it's like just more information on projects in the work.
I'm definitely most excited for Diablo 2, mostly because not only is it just a remaster where they usually just take the graphics, like rasterize them and upscale them. This is a full like rebuild of like the animations, like the lighting, everything for modern graphics. Holy shit, does that game look fantastic. Like I literally tweeted in all caps, like I am coming for this game on Twitter, like when I was watching this fucking thing on Diablo 2. Like literally it's one of my
He's also currently suspended on Twitter because of it, because he posted a photo of... You should not post coming photos on the internet.
Never.
It's graphic.
Diablo 2 is literally, like I said, one of my favorite games of all time. I'm so excited for this. Diablo 4, it's probably gonna suck. It's probably, or whatever.
I played Diablo 4. It was fun, but I also am like literally the worst person. You're like, oh, his opinion on Diablo Immortal matters. My opinion on Diablo 4 does not matter because I'm not gonna be like a hardcore Diablo 4 gamer.
Yeah. I'm still like, everyone's like shitting all over Diablo Immortal. Diablo Immortal's gonna make more money than any Blizzard product has ever made.
Yeah, Hearthstone is literally like the most profitable Blizzard product, right?
Because it has like loot boxes and stuff like that, and you're gonna be dumb if you don't think Diablo Immortal isn't. To go back onto the Diablo 2 though, like a lot of people shit all over Warcraft 3 Reforged and like the StarCraft ones because I believe they were outsourced to outside companies, so they end up being really fucking terrible. There's not a single mention of either of those games, which aren't even very much supported anymore with the Diablo 2 because it was all done in-house, and it shows.
Well, first of all, I definitely am completely cynical, and I think it's going to be just as bad of a release. But hypothetically, if it's not, I think it's going to make a lot of people happy. I will say... I think they are specifically distancing themselves when it's not reforged, it's resurrected. Yeah. Diablo 2 resurrected. So
because the other games, they didn't like really do like a full rework of the graphics. They just kind of upscaled it, versus like this is like a full like complete rework of like all like the animations, like everything looks different, new sprites, new everything. Like it looks so good. Like the rendering is just
So it's coming to Switch and PC, right?
Yeah, and it has cross console saving. So if I'm playing on the Switch, I can save it, and then next time I play on the PC, my everything is saved. Like, oh my god, I'm like...
Hypothetically, if it's good, do you think you're going to get both?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, because I forgot everything you do with Blizzard. I forget you're no lifer about it.
Oh yeah,
like absolutely. Literally.
Here's the thing about Diablo 2 with me. I could literally, like, I wish I was playing that game right now. And just the reason why people don't play Diablo 2 right now is because, for one, it's not supported, and two, it's like 90% bots, and there's not a whole lot of people playing it.
You could play. So I was talking with my friend about this because I was like, I just had a friend I was talking to him, and he also was into Blizzard stuff, and like it just so happened BlizzCon Online. I'm like, oh yeah, shit. Do you hear they announced Diablo 2? It's like, oh yeah, and like we were talking, like you could play it in the BattleNet client, right? But like you have to go by like this weird roundabout way where you have to like buy it on the Blizzard store, and then you have to like.
So there's not a lot of people playing it. And to me, the fun is doing parties with people. That is 90% of my fun, is like blasting through content with like a full group of like 8 people, turning on PvP, fucking people up. Like it just...
It's kind of like the argument. I mean, like, this is a weaker argument because of the popularity that private servers had, but like WoW Classic, when it was like on private servers, like it definitely wasn't as popular as it was when they actually made WoW Classic supported natively. So yeah, you're gonna see a massive uptick in people, especially people who like I'm probably not gonna play it because I know it's a massive time sink, and that's not necessarily a bad thing with a video game. But like, I have other things.
Diablo 2 is very, very, the end game is a time sink if you want it to be, but just to play through it is like it's a jaunt. I actually, if you don't mind, I might actually pick that for one of our games when it comes out.
That's fine, because then I knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. But like, I personally think that like, fuck, where was I going with this?
Where were you going with this? I don't know. I interrupted you fucking like 5 times because I'm like fanboying so hard.
I completely forgot. Fuck. Well, I'm happy you're happy. I'm probably not going to play a lot of Diablo 2 unless it's picked for the podcast. However, I could see a massive community sparking from this. I just hope that it's good. That's really all I want to say. I hope that it's good. I mean, like, Diablo 4, I genuinely had a lot of fun during the demo. I'm one of the only people who's gotten to play it so far because I'm a fucking badass and I paid money to go to BlizzCon last year because I have faith in Blizzard even after the no phones incident.
I guess because you don't have a frame of reference for all their previous games. I've probably played like 10,000 hours of Diablo like all together, But it's like, for that being your first experience, because you never really played any like dungeon crawler type games, really, have you? You've never played like PoE or that, or like Grim Dawn, or like...
Roguelikes are dungeon crawlers, right? Binding of Isaac.
No, you may ask.
Basically... No, that's not my type of game. I'll admit that. Like, I could also say, oh, I enjoyed the Overwatch 2 demo, that I'm like one of the only people who's gotten to play it, because that is true. But like, both people who played Overwatch 2 that I was with at BlizzCon that played a lot of Overwatch, and people who played Diablo 4 with me who played a lot of Diablo, they said they thought they were both very good. However, the people who like Diablo 4 like Diablo 3, so I don't think that their opinion could be trusted.
Diablo 3 is very fun for like 4 days. And then that's the
I just hear Diablo 3 is fun, but is disappointing as a sequel to Diablo 2. That's what I hear.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because
it's like the fans of Diablo 2 just don't. It doesn't translate super well.
The thing about Diablo 2 is it kind of has limitless progression versus Diablo 4. There's really no reason for... There's technically limitless progression in Diablo 3. There's really no reason to do it unless you're trying to just push ranking, which is just whatever.
There wasn't that much really else announced that like wasn't super unsurprising, like a new expansion for WoW and WoW Classic. I mean, I know you're big into, or you used to really be big into the, what was the second patch of WoW Classic? Battle for Azeroth?
Wait, what?
No, shit.
The Burning Crusade.
Legion.
The Burning Crusade.
It's not Jiraxis of the Burning Legion?
The fucking no, that's where Gruul is. Gruul's one of the first bosses in that expansion.
Okay, well,
no, it's the Burning Crusade, which is where I played some of the most World of Warcraft, and I played a lot during high school. I have fantastic opinions about it, but those opinions is that I don't need to play it again because I play modern WoW.
But yeah, they just announced new expansions for that. A new Hearthstone expansion. They do that every single BlizzCon. They announced a new mode, but I feel like they're honestly oversaturated with Hearthstone modes because they have duels, battlegrounds, regular mode, wild, and this new what's it called, mercenaries. It's gonna die. Oh, and arena, like it's gonna die in 2 months, like every other mode except for battlegrounds. I'm not really looking forward to that. I think that the BlizzCon arcade, what they announced with the Lost Vikings, Rock and Roll Racing, and Blackthorn, they it's kind of like Octopath Traveler, where they have like this HD sprite version and this regular version. I think that's fine, but I think it's just more funny that that's why the Lost Vikings isn't on Nintendo Switch Online, because they want you to buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought that was kind of funny. The main news though with BlizzCon is the fucking Metallica DMCA controversy, which is the most hilarious thing to watch. So Slasher tweeted out like the actual clip where it's just the pixel music.
So for those that don't know what happened, for those that don't know what happened, Metallica performed for BlizzCon on the official like BlizzCon channel, the official Twitch channel on Twitch
and YouTube.
And YouTube. So they played 2 seconds of Saint Anger, and then immediately the audio was switched to some random pixel tune that had nothing to do with Metallica. Why they just sit there playing, music and stuff like that, due to fears of DMCA. Just holy shit, is that just such bad optics?
It's bad optics, but it's also ironic because like Metallica is like one of the most aggressively pursuant like copyright litigators on the planet. So kind of them getting what they deserve in a way, but it's also Twitch having a really incompetent platform that like YouTube, they were able to play it. It just got flagged as like playing Metallica because it was Metallica playing Metallica.
Because they have tools in place to like
content ID system.
Yeah, Twitch doesn't have anything.
Yeah, so like literally someone like made a clip of like it literally is playing Metallica, and all of a sudden they're playing like basically baby music, and it's really hilarious. It's just like Twitch making an issue out of like literally everything. Everything could be positive on Twitch, but they have to make it an issue somehow. Yeah. It's just hilarious to watch.
So, were there any official like responses to that actually from Twitch or
not that I saw? And I was actually surprised. I was surprised. It was popular on Twitter, but like Livestream didn't care. They were just like too busy talking about some like offline TV streamer not liking another offline TV streamer.
To me, that's like huge
Livestream
news,
is a terrible subreddit, but it's gotten worse and worse.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We never actually talked about it, but like so. Twitch made a new permanent PogChamp, but I think it was kind of a lazy implementation. So now Komodo Hype is a new PogChamp after a user poll. And they were obviously pissed about that because like they had two options and one was like a legit PogChamp. And like, I guess the community wants Komodo Hype. So now if you use Komodo Hype, which is a Komodo dragon, it's the same emote as PogChamp and you could use PogChamp. But like the reason I'm bringing this up, and I know this is kind of old news at this point, is because I made that one website, right? Who is PogChamp.today?
Yeah.
And honestly, I was kind of getting annoyed updating it because I stopped caring after like a week. But I'm like, I feel like I have an obligation to do this, so I'm happy that I don't have to do that anymore. But well, I'm a little sad because I wanted to actually use it as a coding project. But I'm happy I don't have to do any work.
You did a little bit of coding on it, so it's like a little piece of side work, I guess.
Yeah. There we go. We got like 40,000 total hits. And it links the podcast. I wonder how many halves or even maybe one whole person has found the podcast through that website. Anyway.
Speaking of podcasts, you were telling me we had a new update on listens on SoundCloud.
Oh, yeah. We have 3,000 plays. Thank you all. 3 million soon. I may have drunk tweeted that we're like the most popular podcast in the world and then like posted like 9 Super Saiyan
it was all the anime pictures off of the official Twitter accounts.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, very professional of me. But no,
10 out of 10.
Speaking of Twitter, the reason why I'm bringing this up because it's old news is like I have been following because there were other people who had the idea too to like track all the new PogChamps, but there was this one account, like, Who's That PogChamp, I think was the title. And, like, it was, like, a very small account I was following at the beginning. But then, like, they would basically, like, post a bio of the person who is the PogChamp and, like, at them and then be like, oh, this is them. This is, like, who they are. And this is the PogChamp emote. And, like, they got, like, popular because one of the bigger PogChamps, like, said, hey, thanks for the cool explanation. And so, like, they went from, like, 0 to, like, 3,000 Twitter followers in a day. And they were like,
Christ.
Oh, my God. Thank you so much for all the likes. I'm so happy to do this. And then like literally a day later, Twitch announced that like, yeah, we're ending this. And like I like saw the existential crisis in this Twitter account. And like, he's like, I'm pretty upset about the permanent PogChamp, but I'm happy to have this opportunity. Like pretty much, like that one meme of like the guy with like the mask of happy and he's like crying on the inside. And that's been my last. He's now like trying to make the Twitter just like talking about other random global emotes, and it's like completely failing. But no offense to that guy, I appreciate the work he was doing, but I just thought it was really entertaining to watch like this person like literally become Twitter famous and like get his Twitter fame ruined in one day. So shout outs to Twitch for ruining the guy's Twitter.
Well, it's almost as bad as you getting ruined, but
Yeah, well, I was kind of happy to stop updating my website. I personally think that they should have kept the program going, but whatever. This is old news at this point. People already forgot there used to be a rotating Twitch emote. Do you have anything else?
I do actually. In reference to the fucking Splatoon direct, it was really funny. IGN like posted a video of like the trailer, and apparently the intern, what all they did was just search Splatoon 3, and then they posted the first video that came up. It was like some horrible fucking meme video that was like Splatoon, like from the official fucking account.
It was actually hilarious. I watched that video. Yeah, this is just a week of Twitter fuck ups. That's how it is. Yeah. I mean, like the coolest thing I think that happened this week is like really minor. Like there was this one Mario Maker level where it was pure RNG. It was called Lucky Draw, where I think it was the chance of you beating the level was like 1 in a couple million, but it took 10 seconds to get that chances because like Magic Koopa has like a 1 in 8 chance of spawning a coin, and you needed 8 coins to spawn at once for the level to be beatable, and it was beaten today after 5,000 hours of continual Wii U running. So not today, yesterday.
Good for him. It's like that guy, Chain Chomp Braden, who's been doing that one level for a million years. It's just kind of cool, like the perseverance people have with Mario Maker 1. And
it is cool. I love that. Like I watched the VOD of that, and like he just wasn't there. He's like, yeah, I leave this AFK for like my entire life. It's like 8 hours later. It's like, woo! I was happy to see that.
8 hours later, I was like, woo!
Yeah, I would like. It's weird. There was a lot that happened this week, but sometimes like it's just like playing a good video game. When there's too much good to say, it's like we were able to gush about Hades forever because that wasn't like that was a new experience. But like, yep, this is a good Mario.
Yeah,
yep, we have a lot of news because of this event.
Yeah, other than that, it's like it kind of like dominates our entire life because like we know it's a good game when both you and me play like excess of it. Like if there are good games that we play like maybe 4 hours. Like you probably played like 30-40 hours of Mario, and I probably played at least 15.
I may have been less efficient at my job this week because of this game. I'm trying to think of like a good game we've like even some like I've been like an overachiever with like the last like 20 podcast games.
Right.
The only one that I really didn't play that much was Star Sector. I'm trying to think.
We gotta go. We really have to go back and play fucking Psychonauts.
Yeah, because Psychonauts 2 is coming out this year.
When we find out the official release date of Psychonauts, let's make a
Psychonauts.
Suck
is that the name of your vacuum cleaner?
Suck on nuts. Let's make a point to actually have like a second, like a 0.5 podcast or something like that on. Let's actually finish Psychonauts. I think we should.
I'd rather have a 0.5 podcast on I don't know, like Space Giraffe. Get a little Space Giraffe action going on there. I want to see you like seizing on the floor.
Can
we have that as an episode? As I film the audio of like you screaming in pain and agony.
You just want to like
too much Mario on the brain.
I'm just like seizing on the floor. You're like, ha ha ha. Do this for our enjoyment.
Content, homie.
Hey, buddy.
Yo, was that a fucking good episode or what?
Thank you for listening to the podcast. If you did like it.
All right, here's what you're going to do. 5 stars Apple Podcast. Subscribe on SoundCloud. Go to Spotify, get all your friends, and make them subscribe. Gunpoint. Basically, whatever you can do to make this podcast successful, we don't care what it is. We don't care what the means are. Thanks, gamers.
What he said, but slightly less aggressive and more loving. This is for anyone that drinks White Claw. Natural lime is the best one, and if you say anything otherwise, you're a fucking idiot. Just like those people that talk shit about Arby's.
Why are you talking like people are gonna actually listen to this part?
Why aren't they?
It's probably for the best they don't.
Arby's rules.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of pissed about that.
I guarantee you, everyone who's shit talking Arby's has not eaten Arby's.
I mean, I will say that Meat Mania picture looked terrible.
Yeah. I saw someone that
Meat
says
Mania? No, Meat Mountain, sorry.
Meat Mania? Didn't you, weren't you with me and you're like, we need to order the Meat Mania?
Yeah, that was like a 4 a.m. like anime convention. Like, I am not in a sober place.
I need
this pizza right now.
We ordered pizza, right? Did we get the Meat Mania?
We got the Meat Mania, and it was a hefty pizza. I mean, I have many stories about the Meat Mania pizza, but that's for another time. By the way, we started the podcast with Arby's doesn't suck.
Oh, well, fuck anyone that's listening to this. Welcome to the Virtual Homework Podcast. We're starting it new this time. We're starting it different, fresh.
Yeah, cold open, but not cold open, but still fresh. This is Arby's, okay? This is an Arby's sponsored podcast. How's everyone doing? Welcome to the Virtual Homework Podcast.
Welcome.
I am Sam, and I definitely botched this opening. I have to restart this. Fuck.